Hi guys!
Yeah,
Today
so
we will talk about silent letters with Alex, and he will introduce you to this topic right now.
hi everyone, I'm Alex, and today we'll be talking about a very common topic in English, which is silent letters. But before we start, let me just tell you a bit about the website where we have myriads of other topics, different types of topics concerning grammar and anything that you might need to help your English learning experience. We also offer lessons with native English speakers, different lesson plans like a trial lesson, a 5 lesson plan, a 10 lesson plan, or a 20 lesson plan. All of our speakers are native and they will help you with anything you might require in terms of bettering your English language skills. But let's get on to the topic at hand, which is silent letters. And the first question is, what are silent letters? So, silent letters are letters you don't pronounce when saying a word. They exist only in the written form, so you write them down, but you don't speak them. They are present in English due to the influence of other languages over the course of history. Since the English language didn't evolve alone, there were other languages that influenced it. There are 21 letters in English that can be silent, so that's a major part of the alphabet. So far, only F, Q, R, V, and Y are never silent. Silent letters can be in any position in the word. They can be in the beginning, middle, or the end. And some letters are more commonly silent than others. Let me give you an example of each of the 21 silent letters. So A, logically, B, climb or comb, C, acquire or muscle, D, bridge or edge, E, date or name, G, high or sign, air, honest for H, business for I, in J it's hallelujah or marijuana, K, knife, no, L, calf, talk, M, mnemonic, N, dam or hymn, O, kernel, P, cores or pneumonia, debris and island for S, ballet or listen for T, guess and guilt for U, for W it's answer and to, for X faux pas, and for Z rendezvous. So in each of these words, this letter that's at the beginning is silent. This is an example for all 21 in the English alphabet. Now, one of the questions that I get often is, how do I practice silent letters? Because silent letters are very frequently used in the English language. But they are not easy to teach because they are letters that you don't pronounce. So when somebody is speaking, you can't really know which letters are silent, of course. They require practice and the right pronunciation. They are basically taught by expanding your vocabulary and practicing the correct pronunciation of each word and each letter. You I would suggest, or in general, it's suggested to not learn them by heart. So don't just sit down and learn the words one after the other. You should understand the difference between the written and the spoken word and learn to identify various silent letters in their written form and their correct pronunciation. The best way to achieve this is to use various types of exercises. As an example, so exercise number 1, I would always suggest, for instance, determine the silent letters in the following words: ascent, ledger, cupboard, knuckle, autumn, sword, guess, listen, chaos, wood. So this exercise goes as follows. You determine the silent letters based on your own way of pronouncing them. If you've never seen a word before, pronounce it as you see fit and try to determine which letter is silent. You can check for the correct pronunciation either online or, of course, during classes like this. And you can practice pronouncing these letters again. Finish the exercise by reading the words out loud in the correct way. So even if you were wrong, you can improve your pronunciation by checking the right way, and you can check your results by comparing them to the right examples. So for instance, it's C in ascent, it's D in ledger, it's P in cupboard, it's K in knuckle, it's N in autumn, it's W in sword, it's U in guess, it's T in listen, it's H in chaos, and it's L in wood. Another form of exercise is to choose one silent letter to compound a set of words where that specific letter is silent. So you can choose any silent letter from the 21 and then work with the entire set of words and practice pronouncing the words you have chosen. A good place to start is the letter K, because K is one of the most common silent letters in English. All of these words, knife, knee, knack, night, knob, no, knuckle, and tons of others are always silent. And K is always silent in front of the letter N. So you can practice pronouncing words correctly by choosing one silent letter, and a good place to start is K. And this, if you choose K, will also lead you to example number 3 of an exercise, where you can practice using words with silent letter pairs. So very often, one letter is always silent in front of another. So silent letter pairs. The letter G is a good example. So in these words, align, assign, resign, design, benign, sign, gnaw, gnome, foreign, and other words, the G is always silent in front of the N. So this is a good a good silent letter combination, a silent letter pair that you can use to continuously practice silent letters in different positions in the word. As you can see, it can be at the end or at the beginning. There are multiple silent letter pairs that you can practice depending on where you start. GN is one of the most common ones, KN even more so. WR, MN, or MB are all good places to start. So choose a specific combination and just practice pronouncing the words correctly. Thereby, you will not only practice a specific silent letter, practice your pronunciation, but you will also remember that if you see these words, if you see these silent letter combinations, you'll pronounce them correctly. And that way, your vocabulary and your pronunciation will improve steadily. By mastering these silent letter pairs, you'll never pronounce them wrong again, because as soon as you see them, they'll be integrated into your vocabulary. And to complete the session, I would just like to talk about a question that I get very often. So, why do silent letters exist? Because they seem to have very little functions, because you don't pronounce them, they're only written. Well, this is due to the historical influence of other languages on English, because as I said before, English didn't evolve or exist secluded from the rest of the world. Other languages that are spoken today have silent letters, such as Danish, Faroese, German, French, Indonesian, Irish, Gaelic, Norwegian, Italian, Spanish, and Turkish all use silent letters. And other languages that don't use the Latin alphabet, such as Chinese and Japanese, also use silent letters. All of these languages that you see here, Danish, German, Faroese, have been an influence on the English language. In these specific languages, silent letters are used to determine the proper way to pronounce a word. English has taken on this writing and pronunciation style over the course of its history, especially from French, if we consider that French is the language that has some of the most silent letters used in order to determine pronunciation. Modern English, as we know it today, has continued this writing style, but has adopted the phonetic way of pronouncing words. So, while we still write these silent letters, we just don't pronounce them any longer, and we don't specifically use them for in the same way that they were used throughout history. So this is why silent letters still exist, because they exist in the world in general, and they have always existed in English due to the influence of other languages, these languages that still exist today, and Latin before. So even though we don't use silent letters when we talk, they are an important tool, and they're also a gateway into the history of English language, as well as, if you know silent letters in English, they might just help you to learn other languages. So, for any other materials that you would like, or any other sessions or any other topics, make sure to like the video and maybe subscribe. Also, we are open to any kind of comments or any type of questions that you might have concerning not only silent letters, but anything else that you might need. We'll be making other videos and using other tools to present various topics to you. So make sure to ask questions and comment if you're interested in anything. we'll make sure to answer your questions and maybe answer them now or with future materials. So for today, I would like to thank you for watching, and this has been a brief introduction to silent letters.